I remember going, I've never seen anything like this. Like right up the street at Dunkin' Donuts, they were paying at that point in time like $16 an hour.
Yeah.
We're going, gosh, it feels like everyone has more disposable income. Everyone has a little more breathing room, certainly as a business owner because of the business-friendly policies. But the media acted as though it was a hellscape on earth. That's what led to Biden. We have the new claim truth because there are a lot of claims made. And we'll do this later. We'll talk about the GDP numbers because it's a claim. Well, sure, technically, but when you look at the numbers, there's actually a lot to celebrate. And then there are outright lies. So we wanted to change a little bit today, the 3 worst lies that right now you're hearing about Donald Trump. But before we get to that, President Trump, let's just agree whether you are all in or not, he's a national treasure as far as being the most entertaining, not just president, I would say person to hold political office in the last century. And if you doubt me, let's watch his beautiful display from yesterday.
All right, get him out. Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, ma'am. I thought it was a guy. Thank you. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I said he, and it's a she. I'm sorry. I ended all of the lawless so-called diversity, equity, and inclusion bullshit. And I made it the official policy of the United States government that there are only 2 genders, male and female.
You have 100% confidence in
I don't have 100% confidence in anything. Okay, anything. Do I have 100%? It's a stupid question.
It's pretty important.
Pause. He's talking to a fish. He's being interviewed by a fish. What is that thing?
Yeah, he's weird looking. I can't call it.
It's a clay May fish.
He looks kind of porcelain.
Well, let's keep
Clay
playing.
May, yeah, I guess.
The good news is that Donald Trump turns him into rubble pretty quickly.
No. You don't have 100%. Only a liar would say I have 100% confidence. I don't have 100% confidence that we're going to finish this interview.
We will.
Biden would say that all the time.
Do you trust him? Do you trust him?
I don't trust you. I don't trust a lot of people. I don't trust you. Look at you. You come in all shooting for bear. You're so happy to do the interview.
I am
and
happy.
then you start hitting me with fake questions. Yeah. But even the man that you picked out, he said he wasn't a member of a gang. And then they looked, and on his knuckles, he had MS-13.
There's a dispute
But
over that.
Wait a minute. He had MS-13 on his knuckles tattooed.
That was Photoshop.
Nope.
So let me
That was Photoshop. Terry, you can't do that.
Wrong.
Hey, they're giving you the big break of a lifetime. You know, you're doing the interview. I picked you because, frankly, I never heard of you, but that's okay. We had a president that was grossly incompetent. You knew it, I knew it, and everybody knew it, but you guys didn't want to write it because you're fake news.
All right. Thank you.
And by the way, ABC is one of the worst. I have to be honest with you.
And he finished it, he had one follow-up question, which was...
Want to go for sushi?
I love the end of that. Right. I love the end of that. It was like, by the way, ABC is one of the worst. That's like going to someone's house for dinner, and then they're like, hey, thanks for coming. You guys get in a fight. Thanks for coming. You go, one of the worst dinners I ever had.
Like, your meatloaf sucks. Oh, ground beef and ketchup. Go screw yourself. And they walk out.
Yeah, your meatloaf sucks and your wife's ugly. Hey, have a nice night.
Yeah. I would have slept with her because she's easy, but she's gross. You were about to...
What I was going to say is this is blowing up on social media to some degree, the MS-13 claim. Donald Trump, right there, everybody's like, he literally thinks the M, the S, the 1, and the 3 are on his knuckles. Of course they're not, and no, he's not saying that. That's why he was specifically pushing it back on Moran when he said he had MS-13 on his knuckles. Moran goes, well, there's debate about that.
So it's Photoshop.
That was, well, the first thing he said was there's debate about that. That is what Donald Trump was responding to. He's like,
yeah.
What do you mean? There's no debate about what those tattoos mean. Of course he didn't have the letters and numbers on his hands. Donald Trump isn't saying that. Everyone on the left is running with that.
Right.
Everyone right now.
Yeah.
A flat out lie. And it pisses me off because it's like, you can see the context.
Here's why. They cannot find someone who has been deported, who is a citizen or who is even an illegal alien at this point, whose only crime was coming here illegally. They can't find it because most of these people are criminals who have committed other criminal acts. And so they would rather than protect you, they would rather go, okay, but it wasn't tattooed on his knuckles. He had gang tattoos. It's never been disputed.
It's there.
Period. It's right there. You can see it. It's not photoshopped. You don't hate the media enough. And so that one, okay, you have to explain it. He's talking about the tattoos that symbolize his affiliation with the gang. But sometimes there's nothing that needs to be explained. They are just flat out lies. brings us to the state of claim and truth. All right.
It's a state now?
Yeah, the state of truth. The lie. Let's start with the lie, okay? All references publicly available. I'm going to go through these as succinctly and effectively as possible because I know you are going to run into these in real time with real people. All right. The lie. Donald Trump is deporting kids that are United States citizens. And you can see this here from BBC, Axios, MSNBC, people everywhere. It says, Trump administration rushed to deport young children who are U.S. citizens, including a 4-year-old with stage 4 cancer. Oh, that sounds horrible. It's a lie. The truth, okay? Every single one of said children was taken with them by their mothers by request from the mother.
If you enter this country legally, it's a crime. If you remain in this country legally and you ignore a judge's order about deporting, if you choose to have a U.S. citizen child, knowing you're in this country legally, you put yourself in that position. You put your family in that position. What we did is remove children with their mothers who requested the children depart with them. This was a parental decision, parenting 101. The mothers made that choice. And I tell you what, if we didn't do it, the story today would be Trump administration separating families again. But I don't hear any questions about Laken Riley had a mother. She's never going to see her child again. Rachel Morin, she had 5 children. Those children are never going to see their mom again. This administration is doing the right thing.
Everything he just did was perfect. And you'll have people say because he has a speech pattern that's a little bit
I think he talks too fast or something
odd.
Yeah.
He talks from the back. Maybe it's a speech impediment, whatever it is. He lasered in. Everything he said was correct. And when he pivoted to something relevant. Hey, these people have died. And he used that to stick the landing and say, we're doing the right thing. That's what conservatives need to do. I will say, if you were going to issue a report card, Homan, top for me right now with this administration. He has been blameless. He has been perfect. And people will look at him and say, oh, he's not an intellectual. You know what? Thank God. I don't want this country run by intelligentsia because you have people who work in nothing but the theoretical and nothing but the technical, and they're not able to see the big picture. These moms requested it. You guys would lie if we did it any other way, no matter what, because you're lying now. And guess what? This is the right thing to do. How about caring about the lives lost? And just to be clear, one more thing. The reason that we stream live to Rumble every day, the reason we don't stream to YouTube is, sure, my YouTube channel is not banned, to be clear, but you wouldn't be able to see this. If we discuss this on YouTube, it is throttled. You could search Tom Homan response, and you won't find it. You'll find some other channel that has 400 plays. And that's why, please, look, what we ask is if you're not a member of Rumble Premium, just download the Rumble app. Follow me there. You get notified when we are live. I don't do that game. You guys on social media, right? The stuff on social, on my X, is taken from this show. You want to know? Watch the show. We're not able to reach people on these other platforms. So you'll have people say, oh, you're not removed. This is the truth. The media is lying. We present the truth. And we present it in an unvarnished way. We don't do the conservative thing where we say, well, we're presenting the truth, but we're tiptoeing. And so we can't reach folks on YouTube. Please, if you're still there, if you're watching this clip, maybe on YouTube, if you're one of the 4 people, go to Rumble. And if you're a creator, go to Rumble. Start growing an alternative because when you can no longer reach people with the truth, it's no longer a venue where you say, hey, we have to, these are where the battle lines are. No, that's unfortunately lost territory. We didn't do anything about Section 230. And so now guess what? You speak the truth, you will be throttled.
Right. And the media is working overtime on this one, but they have, I think it's DHS's account on X. They actually waited a little bit and then they released the details for all of these cases because the media could not help themselves. 4-year-old with cancer. They detailed how every mom had a deportation order, how every mom chose to take their kids. And DHS actually said, hey, is there somebody here, a father, a family member you want to leave your kids with? They're American citizens. They can stay here. Mom said, no, we want to take our kids with us. And they said, okay, we'll facilitate that to make sure your kids are not separated from you.
Yep.
And the
because
media
that kid
runs
is an
out.
anchor. I mean, that's their way back. They're hoping that the media runs with this. And, And, some judge steps up and goes, hey, you got to bring that kid back.
Let me
and then all of a sudden, mom gets to come back and doesn't have to live in Venezuela anymore.
Exactly. Let me ask you this. We have very few things that we agree upon as a society. I feel like one of them is if you are parents, Never use your children for personal gain. Never use them against the other spouse.
Right.
Never use your kids as an adult, right? It's your job to protect them. Even if people don't do it, that's something I think you'd be hard-pressed to find anyone who disagrees with it. For some reason, we just give carte blanche and complete forgiveness for people who do it to gain citizenship. They literally used the miracle of creating life to try and gain the system.
And maybe they didn't. Maybe they just wanted to bring their kids with them, and they wanted none of this attention, and the media found them. I mean,
maybe
that's possible too.
A lot of 8-month pregnant people crossing that border. Yeah. We know that as a statistical reality. Yeah. But yeah, you're right. Maybe, but still, shouldn't we all agree and have a problem with that? But if our starting off point is, hey, they used their children, therefore they already used their children, reward them. What do you think happens if you reward them? Let's go on to lie number 2. And it is a flat-out lie. And this one is, it's very clear they spent time crafting this lie, and I recommend you check the references, link in the description. We do it every single show. We'll show you the chart. But first, let's hear what they say. Tourists, by the way, Donald Trump is so bad, this America is so bad, that tourism has stopped. People don't want to come to America.
Now, the effect of all this on people coming
Pause.
to this great country.
That's a real voice?
I thought that was you doing a voice.
What the effect of all this?
You can't even do it.
I can't even do it because I need to turn up the gay. All right, continue.
And on U.S. tourism is exactly what you'd expect it to be. See all those charts? See what direction they go? It's from the Financial Times, and it shows how travel from Europe to the U.S. has already cratered under Trump.
Wait for it, guys.
Foreign dollars that would have flowed here, not going here. Our Secretary of State, Marco Rubio, says, if you think the wrong way, we don't really need you.
Okay. What is he? He's trying to tie that to tourism? All right. So here's the truth, okay? Very plain. Summer bookings to the United States, pretty much exactly the same as last year. There's always, by the way, a give and take. Bring up that chart from the New York Times. From Europe, okay? It's not minus 2%, meaning it's down coming in from Europe. From Canada, down 21%. Good. From Asia, it's up 4%. From Argentina, it's up 39%. Here's what news outlets are doing. They're comparing March 2024 to March 2025, okay? Look at that. But do you see how there's a spike and it goes down? Right? There's a spike in last year and it goes down. And there's a spike and it goes down. What is different? Guys, can you do the math? What is different? What is different? What is Easter?
Oh, come on.
Easter fell 3 weeks later and it follows that graph to the decimal. Do you guys understand what is Easter? So people alter their travel patterns. Then it goes back to normal.
So tourism is the same.
Tourism is the same.
It actually appears to be up.
It appears to be up
it does look
slightly.
Up. Yeah.
The tourism during
I don't even
Easter
wanna-
was higher?
What was that?
The tourism during Easter was higher?
Tourism, you see right
Easter
there. During,
causes it to go
Easter causes
down,
it to go down.
No way. Okay.
And so it goes up, but often before it, then it goes down, and then it kind of steadies out. And then, of course, you see more tourism during the summer because we have beaches, for example. It seems to be slightly up. I don't even want to make that lofty claim because I'm not them. Check the chart for yourself. They're lying to you.
By the way, there's one heck of a storm.
There's
right
a
now,
huge
so.
storm going on, and apparently we shouldn't have made our roof from old tin cans.
Get out in the rain, you inward.
What? Whoa. What,
Whoa.
Gerald?
Whoa, Captain Morgan. And we're going to go to the...
I can't believe this.
There's a cabinet meeting here, which maybe Mission Control, keep an eye on because I know we're going to address this. But first, right now, lie number 3.
Is it that Gerald didn't say that?
Lie number 3, that China, this is what they want you to believe, and it's a lie, is winning the trade war.
China has effectively won this trade war. Trump started a trade war, talked a big game, talked tough. Oh, we're not going to let them get away with this anymore. These bastards at the Chinese Communist Party. And then this week, he effectively did a 180 and admitted, well, we can't keep doing this forever, and hopefully we'll work out a deal with them. He backed down, he cowered, he caved, he is terrified of the ramifications of the ill-advised trade war that he started.
Okay, and you see the same sentiment echoed by Vox, which is with one and the same with NBC Universal and YouTube. They co-produce a lot of content. The Telegraph, Financial Times, all over the place. Here's the truth. China's economy is reeling.
Yeah.
China may not be the China you know in a very short period of time. So to give you an idea, the Chinese factory, their output, Chinese factory outputs, it's at about a 2-year low. Their exports to the United States are lowest since their COVID zero policy. They've already rolled back their own tariffs on U.S. semiconductors.
Oh.
They're not doing well. They're doing very, very poorly. They are being hit far more significantly than we are here in the United States. I would say it's not even comparable, but at least China is still putting out that cringe propaganda, and it's well funded by the CCP.
Turn out, here's my favorite. There's place to the drink that break me. Retaliate, with the words I say. Turn out.
That goes on for 3 minutes. It goes on for three long minutes. To be fair, even the CCP realized how bad that was, and they pulled it afterwards. So, yeah, they just...
Oh, goodness.
Me to park your car?
No, just don't kill her.
They gave her the old 90s baby treatment.
Oh.
And by the way, this is part of it. I know you had something to say there, but he's doing his cabinet meeting right now. Just so you know, this isn't limited to Donald Trump. And you know, I've said this before, and I know that President Trump has said this before. They're after you. He's just in the way. Now, we don't have any type of sampling data on how you are covered in the media, how you would be covered in the media. We know President Trump gets 92% negative coverage, but now you can go on down the list. Elon Musk, who was their darling, Mr. Electric Car, 96% negative. Hegseth, 100% negative.
Jeez.
I can tell you that, of course, I've been the target of this. They would do the same thing to you if they thought that you were if they thought that you were a problem and that you could influence people. And maybe they have come after you. Many people just who are average American citizens who don't work in media find themselves a target. It happens all the time. But they are after everything you stand for. They want to destroy it. And so they will destroy who they view as the figureheads. You mean to tell me there's not one thing that Hegseth has done that is good for legacy media? Hey, how about record recruitment?
Yeah.
As far as you can't even give him that 100% negative.
Even that's a bad thing to them.
Right. Even that's a bad thing.
They railed on him when he said that we shouldn't have any fat leaders.
Makes sense.
They did. They were like, that's sizist or whatever.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's like, dude, I should not be your platoon sergeant.
Just saying.
It looks like that guy from Hogan's Heroes. I saw nothing. He was funny.
No, he was definitely funny. What I was going to say is that China's only hope in winning this trade war with the United States really rests on turncoats. And it's in 2 phases. One is in other countries going, hey, we'll do big deals with you. We'll run over here to try to do something with
Canada.
You. Cozying up, exactly. Just like Canada did. China's trying to do that with other countries, too, because they know that. Or it's people in the media buying their lies and pushing how bad this is going to be for the U.S. economy. It is way worse for them.
Yep.
They know it, and the only thing they can do is hope people turn to their side and buy the BS that's being spewed.
Let me put a finer point. Donald Trump has really backed the whole modern world into a corner, okay? And the only way that China recovers from this, there's one way. If world leaders of places like Canada, countries in the EU, take your pick, is if they say, Orange Man's so bad, I want to build up and support Xi Jinping.
Right.
That's your choice right now. You think that the guy who put into place retaliatory tariffs, because these tariffs existed against us, by the way, for many, many, many decades. The guy who was the first president to ever enter into office as a supporter of gay marriage. The guy who was a Democrat for a long time, who's now a Republican, who's actually pretty moderate on a lot of these social issues, certainly on abortion. Some of his base didn't think that he was conservative enough. I'm more conservative than him on abortion. You think that this guy is so evil, the tariffs are so bad, and his policies are so impermissible that you will choose to do business with a country that still engages in slavery, execution of its citizens, and rampant. By the way, all the things that you claim you hate about Donald Trump, he hates trans people, he hates gay, he's racist. All of that actually exists in China, and those people have no rights. And women, of course, treated like second-class citizens in many facets. The only way that China isn't crushed from this is, like Gerald said, turncoats, is if people like Canada, if we see it in England, France, take your pick, is if they say, Trump, Xi Jinping.
They have pride parades in China, right? The yearly Beijing Pride Parade. And
I'm sure they do.
They got abortion clinics all over Hong Kong, I'm sure.
Tiny
Their
floats.
firework festival where you get tied to one.
Yes, exactly.
It's a culling process, some would say.
And everyone knew,
Everyone
of course.
knows about Guangdong drag shows.
Yes, exactly.
Put the dong in Guangdong.
Well, they can't. They can't pronounce Rupar. So, we all knew that President Trump would be heavily scrutinized, and we all knew that President Trump's cabinet would be heavily scrutinized from day one. Even some advice from, imperfect as he may be, former President George W. Bush. He tried to warn President Trump about how to make cabinet picks.
Here's some advice. As president, one of the hardest decisions you're going to make is selecting your cabinet. I suggest a solid wood like oak, maple, or a strong fruit wood like cherry. You want to stay away from pine. It's too soft, scratches easy. It's no good. Or as my Spanish friends would say, it's no bueno. Of course, if you're the governor who procedured me, Mr. Abbott, I'd stay away from trees altogether.
That's a little too late.
Careful, Crockett's going to steal that. And we're going to get to this right now. I don't want to say outright lie because there's a basis in truth, but boy, is it missing context, the GDP problem. But before that, we want to give back a little bit. This is a new segment. You guys have heard of Super Chats?
Yeah.
And that's where you guys, right, we've never done them, where you guys give us like a bunch of money. People do that quite a bit.
Oh, I like
We've never
that
done
idea.
them. Yeah, I know, but we're not doing them. Okay, enough with the just do it.
God, Steven!
We're actually going to do the opposite. It's time for, I think, the very first on Earth, reverse Super Chat. So,
it's quick.
I want to tell you, actually, the folks over at Pure Talk, who are a sponsor today, they want to give back to you. So this is actually what we call the reverse Super Chat. For the first time right now, we are giving away 50 free Rumble Premium subscriptions. We just gifted them to people in the chat.
Yeah.
That's brought to you by Pure Talk. We know that for some people, $99 annually or even trying it for $9.99 a month is tough. And we want you to be able to experience it. So we just gave away 50 Rumble Premium subscriptions. It's what keeps the lights on here. Just one reverse Super Chat sponsor isn't going to do it. So please, if you are not a member, consider joining up and show those folks that you love them. And by the way, if you were just gifted a subscription right now, take a screenshot, tag me on X or on Instagram, or you can leave a comment here under Rumble. Mug Club is Rumble Premium. Rumble Premium is Mug Club. Thank you, Pure Talk. It is a 100% United States-based customer service team. We've tested it. You get someone on the line, and it's a great company. I switched to them, and you know what? I have better service than can I say the company? I was with Verizon. They sucked.
Yeah, you can say that.
In comparison, and save a lot of money. puretalk.com/Crowder. Tag me on X or Instagram. Show us your screenshot of your new Rumble Premium membership. This has been Reverse the Super Chat.
That's quick.
We're gonna take those memberships back, right?
No.
Oh, okay. You get to keep them. Even better.
Yes. All month.
Even better.
Yeah. It's so they give you 51-month subscriptions. You can kind of choose from there.
There you go.
It's fantastic.
Give it a whirl. Let's move on to this. The GDP. This is a talking point everywhere. I think this is why they're having the cabinet meeting right
Well,
now.
it's not why, but they've had a cabinet meeting scheduled. But
they were just discussing the GDP.
Yeah.
Let's hear what they're saying, and then I want to give you some key facts on this GDP story that's making the rounds because I am always hesitant to say lie. It's getting really close as far as how the media is covering it, but it's certainly misleading. Let's hear what they're talking about.
Would have seen that there's a problem with fixed-wing aircraft and helicopters coming in at DCA. Someone should have seen that before we lost almost 70 lives.
Oh, talking about the helicopter crash?
See that we have an aging infrastructure around air traffic control. And so if we don't build a brand new system...
Okay, well, we'll go back to that.
Can I make one comment on that?
Yes.
Sean, that's a pretty stupid comment to make. What do you mean somebody would have seen a problem with the fixed-wing aircraft and a helicopter? Of course they saw it. There are restrictions on altitude for both, and that was ignored, and that was the problem. So they obviously understood that, but that is airspace that sometimes we're going to have to do things in that we need to be prepared for and not do the first time when it's an emergency. So
yeah, exactly.
It's kind of silly to say it like that.
Kind of need to tell the female Biden cozy, whatever, intern, whatever she was. We
an
covered her,
aide.
Rachel, I forgot her last name. Yeah, a Biden aide. You kind of need to tell that pilot who directly disobeyed orders in real time, not once, but twice in a row, which led to the crash. It's tragic, but let's be honest about what it is. That could be an additional problem. Maybe you need to update some FAA regulations, I'm sure, with DEI.
Maybe they'll help.
Yeah, they're called ROSs. It's a normal thing. It's normal operations.
Yeah.
Aviations. But is this normal? If this, I don't remember this from the Biden administration. Certainly not from the first Trump administration or the Obama administration. I didn't pay attention as much. But was it normal for cabinet meetings to be live televised?
No, and I will
This
say
is at least the second time that this has happened in the first 100 days.
This is without a doubt the most transparent
Second or
administration
third.
in history. They show a lot. They're very forthcoming.
Why don't they get credit for that?
Yeah.
It's always Hitler this, Nazi that, but it's the first
Right.
Because they have the hats
truly
on the
transparent. Like that, I mean, I got a lot of issues with a lot of things, always. You should never have full, like Trump said in the interview with ABC, you should never 100% trust somebody.
Right.
And have 100% faith in somebody. Yeah, you got to have some doubts. So I've got some doubts about this administration, just like any administration, but at least they're out here like, hey,
Yeah.
nothing up our sleeves.
Yep. They're showing their
dealer.
receipts. Yeah. And this is one, the media does not do this. And by that, I mean legacy media. And by that, of course, I mean, what's that, Gerald?
Does he always sit next to Hegseth, or is this a show of support? Is that always the seating? I honestly don't know the answer to the question.
I think Rubio might have been next to him last time.
Rubio's next to him on the other side.
Oh,
I just
okay.
don't know if that's
Maybe it
the
was the same
normal
last
seating.
time.
If it's normal seating, then fine. Maybe it doesn't mean anything. But if it's not, then maybe that's a show of support.
And Hegseth looks like
You would think that
straight
J.D.
as-
Vance would be
Yeah.
right-hand man, right?
He's across the table, I think.
Across the table?
I found one. This was from 5 days ago, so that was the last one, and he is sitting next to him.
He is still
Okay,
there.
so that's
all
like
right.
a seating chart they got there. Yeah.
Yeah, sign seating.
Nice.
Fine.
Is Pam Bondi at the kids' table?
No, she's doing an interview.
Look, go play with your Minnie Mouse teacup set.
She's doing an interview with Fox talking about the death penalty for petty
Yeah,
thieves.
exactly. All right.
Mr. Child Support payment? Life in prison.
Okay, this is the thing that's making the rounds right now. You've heard this, right? The GDP, the fear-mongering, right? What you are hearing right now, and I want to disabuse you and anyone who tries to make this argument of this notion. The economy is shrinking. All is unwell, and it is all President Trump's fault.
So why don't we get right to the latest economic news? The U.S. economy slowed sharply in the first quarter as GDP data for the first 3 months of the year showed a contraction of 0.3%. This is, Jonathan, the first quarter of negative GDP growth since the first quarter of 2022.
Okay, here's the reality. Check all the references, by the way. These are not right-leaning references. You've got NBC, DHS, CNBC. 2 reasons for the GDP, that contraction. First one, imports, right, went up 43% compared to 2024 Q4. The reason for that is because a lot of people, right, we saw increase in imports to sort of circumvent these tariffs, to try and do it before the tariffs went into effect. Okay, so that's big one. So you see some contrast. Then, this interesting step that they don't tell you, government spending is down 5.1%. That will affect GDP. Government spending is down 5.1%. And government spending is huge. Here's a key number. Private investment is up 21%. 21%. This is the opposite of that number when the Biden administration would say, we added X number of jobs. A lot of them came back from COVID, but not one new job. It was net 0 new jobs for native-born citizens. We saw the same issue with Barack Obama and the labor force participation. People just kind of dropped out, so they're not looking for jobs. So it actually positively affects the number. And then the government would employ a bunch of people. If you add 150, 250,000 people to government payrolls, you go, look, employment is better. So in this case, you see, hey, government spending is down, which we all want. That is going to negatively affect GDP. By contrast, private investment is up 21%. Combine that with not just the stock market, but some other economic indicators. We talked about this. Jobs are up. They're up 228,000 in the latest report in March. That's 100,000 more than expected. What they were bitching about only a month and a half ago, inflation, eggs. Inflation is down. March inflation was 2.4%. That's the lowest in 4 years.
Yeah. He didn't go on TV and brag about it either, like Biden did every time he was lying.
Right. They just go out and so they go, GDP is 0.3%. Okay, great. Look at that full picture. Increase in imports to try and avoid the tariffs, decrease in government spending, and then you go, wait a second, private investment is up 20%. Jobs are up. Inflation is down. This is why what you are experiencing, and some of you may not remember this. The first term of Donald Trump, I remember going, I've never seen anything like this. Like right up the street at Dunkin' Donuts, they were paying at that point in time like $16 an hour we're going, gosh, it feels like everyone has more disposable income. Everyone has a little more breathing room, certainly as a business owner because of the business-friendly policies. But the media acted as though it was a hellscape on earth. That's what led to Biden. Let me ask you, what you are experiencing right now, let's disregard the portfolio because that goes up and down. What you're experiencing in your day-to-day, going to the grocery store, friends, family who are employed, what are you experiencing? Because the media right now is very, very clear. It's worse than the 4 years of Biden.
It's been pretty good, right?
That's been my experience.
I mean, up until like 2 days ago, the price of gas went up 40 cents overnight, which was wild. I don't know what that's about, but
that happens.
I guess that happens because of summer, is what I was.
It goes up and it goes down.
But
days, so, yeah,
they waited too. By the way, the left waited until that day yesterday. People were, the gas prices are average at $3.16. It was $3.13 when Biden left office.
Right.
Like, yeah, well, it was 40 cents cheaper last night.
Right. Yep.
You didn't post this last night for a reason, or for the last 3 months.
Yeah. So I want to repeat it. GDP, contraction. 2 reasons. Right. Imports were up 43% people wanted to preempt the tariffs. Government spending is down 5.1%. You know how much we spend as a government, right? That's going to affect GDP quite a bit. Private investment up 21%. Jobs are up. Inflation is down. The only conclusion that you can draw when you combine these numbers with a 93% negative coverage rate is the media, the left in this country, they are rooting for the United States to fail. And if you need more proof, see them advocating on behalf of MS-13 members. See them advocating for MS-13 members to be sent back to this country while arguing with the man who has instated policies that have led to more job creation, that has led to decrease in inflation. They want to argue with him about whether the MS-13 tattoos give you the title on his knuckles verbatim. Hey, if the media's job is to inform, if the job of a journalist is to inform, to give you information so you can not only make better assessments but better decisions, they hate you, they want you to fail, they want this country to fail. And here's the thing. There's someone else waiting in the wings. The United States fails, guess who wins? China. Again, the pick right now. Any of these countries out there, your move. Donald Trump, orange man so bad, you choose Xi Jinping. You're not a neighbor. You're not a friend. Oh, you're still here? And you're still watching this on YouTube? You've probably noticed something is missing by now. I'm not here. That's because the Live Daily Show is now streaming exclusively on Rumble weekdays at 11 a.m. Eastern. Tune in there, where nothing is censored.